So that is what Duke Ambrose is going to do. We're not going to get rid of a weak king, because a weak king could play into our hands. We've had strong kings, and as we've seen, they're detrimental to our, well, they're detrimental in certain respects to our own expansion. To be able to expand within England, we have to scheme, we have to marry. So, Powys, weak claims on Gloucester, these things can only be pressed when the time is right. So let's see if that time will come with a weak king. So anyway, before any of that, we must crack on with our feast. So we've got dancers coming and giving us a wee jig. Of course, this feast has to be befitting of a great duke, and therefore we shall pay for the dancers. We shall pay for the musicians. And we shall pay for lavish food, pheasant, goose, anything you want. People are leaving the lower crown authority, leaving the seniority succession law. I'm just going to bump it down to 2 speed. Only reason being is because we have a new king, and I don't want to miss anything in case civil war breaks out, you know. And I'm just going to keep my eye on this one. I think this could be the plot that perhaps might start to get a few more backers here. Prince Henry for England, at least if people have half a brain. If they want England to be united, this is the man for the job. Oh boy! Duchess Hermione wants independence from England. Wow, that could have massive implications for our future rulers. This could have and she is the most prominent duke, or duchess in her case, in England. She is the strongest of all of us. She has the most troops at her disposal, so that's quite a card she's pulling here. But she's also joining the Prince Henry for England faction. As I say, it seems that he is the one that is the people's choice. 55% plot power. 55% plot power I see here. What do we want to do? I'm not going to back her with independence. I don't think getting independence from England is a massively favourable thing right now, but and she's also joined the seniority. Wow. And so it starts. Do we join this one now? It's getting more plot power. Do we join when it's time to strike? The only reason why I say that is if we do join and we are successful, then we would be in the king's good graces if we assisted him to overthrow Odo. Yes, it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. I wonder how much plot power we would give to it if we were to join. I'd reckon about 20% maybe. See if anybody else joins first. Yes, lavish foods, thank you. And I hereby invite you to my feast. It seems kind of strange having a lovely feast and enjoying oneself when England is in a time of uncertainty. People are joining a faction for Prince Harold. Don't know who he is. And not only... Oh, the irony indeed. We hold our own feast, and the king invites us to his? I'm sorry, old king. I'm utterly and truly sorry. But I don't like you. None of your dukes like you, and I'm having my own feast. So, thank you, but no thank you. We refuse to attend the king's feast. Balderdash, I say. We'll attend the king's feast unless we were forced to in chains. We shall not associate with such a weak man. Lower Crown Authority. Lower Crown Authority. Okie dokie. We're on faction watch right now. I'm thinking if we join this faction here, it might tip it high enough to actually have some meaning here. The guests have arrived. The feast commences. Everyone drank, and Mayor Oswulf appeared to didn't enjoy himself. Wow. Why? What is wrong with my feast? He's one of the few people who I was hoping to increase it with. He's already got a negative opinion of me. Lower Crown Authority. Zachariah, that's my brother, of course, cut the throat of one of my servants when the clumsy man spilled wine over his garb. Oh dear, this is actually... let's have a look here. He's my brother. I have a decent enough opinion of him. So we could imprison him. I don't think we would do that. I think we would probably sweep this under the carpet. Of course, I don't think it's right to kill a servant for spilling some wine. It's a bit extreme. However, I think a bit of bribery is in order to keep the servants quiet about it. Of course, if he was an irksome brother of mine, he would be thrown in the prison straight away. But no, we like him. So everybody's gone home, our diplomacy increases and general opinions increase by +5. So yeah, we'll live with that. Apart from Mayor Oswulf, who still doesn't like us. Oh, he does. He's positive. In fact, everybody is positive now. That's a quick turnaround. We've gone from a few negatives now to all positives. It's just the bishops we need to work on, really. Bishop Sewell, just on the cusp of giving us the tax. We're already working on the Bishop of Monmouth by putting our bishop there. That's fine. We'll live with it for now. So despite the fact that this king has come into power, he's taken a wife who's a young whippersnapper of a wife. Is she virile? Yes, she's lustful. He's definitely picked the right one if he wants children, which of course he needs plenty of now. The Independence faction. Is that Hermione's Independence faction? Prince Henry for England is losing plot power. Seniority? What the hell? Of course, a seniority succession change would actually still effectively make Henry next in line for the title, I think. In fact, can we check the succession law description? The oldest member of the dynasty. So yeah, I think Henry is actually the oldest living male in the House de Normandy dynasty, so he would still become next in line to the throne. So that's also a succession law change which would be handy. Another one joining the seniority. So rather than directly implementing Henry onto the throne, doing it via succession law change is a possibility. And then having Odo fall asleep and never wake up to assist in that will also work. One to the Lower Crown Authority faction. So all these different factions cropping up, but none of them really gaining... Ah, here we go. Here's the first sign of something going wrong. This is his brother. Oh, yes. This is Odo's twin brother, Robert. Everybody say hello to Prince Robert. Here he is. It looks like he's trying to press his own claim here. English Succession War, Second Succession War, is it? Second English Succession Crisis. Prince Robert of England versus King Odo I. It doesn't tell you what the victory conditions are, but I'm assuming that he's trying to put himself on the throne. The twin of this man, He thinks the same as everybody else, that he's no good as a king. He's been in prison, he's no use to us, no use, no ornament, and therefore finally deciding to make a push on his own. He better get some backers pretty swiftly, otherwise this is not going to go too well, I don't think. Of course, the king pulling out the levies from across the land. The crown authority is still high, so despite the fact that he may not be the best man for the job, he still has quite a lot of levy at his disposal. Which is not really what we were hoping for. The whole reason for us sitting back and watching and waiting to see what happens was to try and ensure that England goes up in arms here. Oh, and here's the situation again. Remember last time we got one of these messages? Remember the last time we got one of those messages? Bear with me. Okay, so that's still at 47%, 50% for Prince Henry for England. Obviously would rather see Henry than Robert, but even Robert would be better than Odo at this moment in time. So we have two choices. I mean, we could join this faction here. You have to join the war if the claim is pushed. My ally is the leader, and my wife has joined too. I mean, it makes no difference to me. I don't even like my wife, to be honest with you, but it's almost like a 50-50. We've sat back and we've waited, and England isn't dissolving into a mess like we'd hoped, so maybe we might have to force the issue. If a usurper gets put on the throne, that would automatically lower the crown authority. So that's also a good thing. Some more people are joining. We have Duke of Kent, Duke of Lancaster. Still wouldn't be enough though. That's still not enough. We need to see some more people rising up against the current king before we commit ourselves to this decision. In fact, we can commit ourselves to this decision. We're going to actually throw our hat into the mix to take the faction strength up to 68%. We can leave at any time, so it's just a wait and see type scenario here. Just trying to force the issue. In fact, I wonder if we could actually press the claim, or I wonder if the leader could press the faction's demands whilst the king is currently tied up at war. Almost like a three-way battle for the crown. The faction for King Henry versus Prince Robert's claim versus King Odo's defence. A three-way war would be definitely most intriguing. Wow, 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 wow. More people joining perhaps? Yep. Okie dokie. Ooh, do we throw our name into the hat with them, or do we just continue to sit back and wait? If Normandy join, I think we might join it too. Yep. Yep. What the hell happened here? Whoa! What the hell? That has to be the first time I've seen this happen so soon. King Odo died in the battle against Prince Robert of England. So that put an end to that war pretty swiftly, did it not? Which means the current king is going to be Odo's twin brother Robert. So first things first, what do the vassals think of this man? Well, his eldest son will now be the Prince of England. But once again, the vassals that matter, the dukes of the land do not want this man on the throne either. Is there actually a person they do want on the throne? I don't know. I'm thinking that Henry of Flanders, if he was to become king, I think the dukes would like that.